to GBN Live. I'm your host, Tracy Hansen. I'm with the Saybrook chapter of GBN. What's up, Saybrook? Please join me today in welcoming Jamie Croland. He is with our Carolina Forest chapter. He's a financial advisor with Edward Jones. I'd also like to take a moment and thank our sponsor, Grand Strand Law Group. They have offices in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, and they're ready to help you with all your legal real estate needs as well as trusts and wills. You can get in contact with them at 843-492-5422 or at grandstrandlawgroup.com. And also, don't forget to grant us permission to show your comments. And to do that, you may have to go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and then that will grant us permission to show your comments. And please leave any comments that you have or questions for Jamie in the comment section, and we will be sure to get to them. So stay tuned, and GBN Live is up next. All right, welcome back. Like I said, we're here with Jamie Croland. He's with Edward Jones. Welcome, Jamie. We're so happy you could join us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is great.
Very good, very good. So before we get into financial advising and all that fun stuff, let's learn a little bit about you first. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from. We touched on this a little bit before the show, so we have a lot in common.
We do have a similar path. Yes, I'll give you my life story in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Born in Queens, but lived in Elmont, New York, on the island until I was 13. And then I moved to Coral Springs, Florida, which is kind of between Boca and Fort Lauderdale. So I went to high school there, and then went to try to play football in college, and went to Valdosta State in Georgia. And then my last 2 years, I finished up at University of Florida. Go Gators.
Right.
From there, went to law school in Lansing, Michigan.
Oh, different.
Coldest 3 years of my life. And then moved here over 28 years ago, and I went here to become a prosecuting attorney at the Horry Georgetown Solicitor's Office, and then I was an assistant city attorney for Myrtle Beach. So that was what I did in the 90s, and then at the end of 99, about 23 years ago, I got into financial services. And married 23 years. My son Jake is at College of Charleston, and my daughter Sydney is at Clemson.
Oh, nice.
And a dog and 3 cats.
Oh, very good, very good. All right, all right. So now that we know a little bit about you, we're going to talk a little bit about what you do and your financial advising. You're with Edward Jones, and from what I understand, they've been in business a long time, 1922, I believe. So tell us a little bit about the company, how long you've been with them, and the company in general.
Yeah, it is a big year for us. We just hit our 100-year mark.
Wow.
And Edward Jones was really the first firm. It's a St. Louis firm, so it's got that Midwestern feel. It's the first firm to bring Wall Street to Main Street. So it used to be you had to be in New York City to do any kind of business or investing, and now we have close to 19 or 20,000 financial advisors across the United States and Canada, 40,000 associates. And Edward Jones is, I used to work with Hartford Financial. That's where I first started. My job was to call on financial service companies. So I know all the firms that are out there. The one thing that always stood out with Edward Jones was it's not a public company. So as you know, public companies, who comes first? The shareholder. Edward Jones is a partnership that the client comes first. So it's very client-centric, it's very community-oriented, and we put the individual client and the individual business owners' needs first.
Excellent. And they do a lot with the community as well, I believe.
Yeah, we're very big with Alzheimer's. We donate a lot of money to that. Personally, that's one of my passions after doing leadership at Grand Strand, and now I'm on the board of Myrtle Beach Rotary, and I do all their service projects. And also I'm on the board of the Rape Crisis Center of Horry and Georgetown County, and plus GBN,
Right.
So I try to do a lot of giving back through my, personally and through Edward Jones.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good too,
It does.
Yeah, helps all
Isn't
the way around.
really that what life's about, having that purpose?
Right, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I know working with a financial advisor, there's three main reasons that you would work. You'd want to meet your goals. You want to prepare for the unexpected, and also then to plan for your future with confidence. Can you tell me a little bit about each of these aspects?
There's three. Oh, I thought there were so many more.
There are. There's three that come to my mind.
Okay. But you're right. Those are
Yeah.
three big ones. The first thing is, and by the way, since I'm a recovering attorney, let me make a disclaimer that none of this should be construed as financial advice, legal, or tax advice.
Right.
And everybody's situation is very different. That's why I'll usually start off with something called my priorities, where people will figure out what's most important to them, what their goals are, based on their time horizon, their risk tolerance, what they're saving for. Some people are all about saving for retirement. We have clients that are in retirement. So it's about your retirement income planning. And you can do all the planning in the world, but if something unexpected happens, it can blow up your whole plan. So, we do everything from cradle to grave, where what I call human-centered, comprehensive wealth management. So by the time your baby's born or grandchild, college education planning, we do obviously all the investment, stocks, bonds, annuities, we do all the banking, money markets, FDIC, CDs, treasuries, everything. And then we have to protect everything, life insurance, disability, long-term care. But I also do a lot with legacy planning, philanthropic planning, and we coordinate. So not only do we help people with taxes, estate planning, investments, cash flow, debt, but also legacy and philanthropic needs, Medicare, Social Security decisions they have to make. We coordinate. So I'm like the quarterback. So I'll help coordinate with your CPA, your attorney, your P&C person, and bring it all together and get you that clarity you need, put it all on paper, and then partner with you throughout your life to make sure you stay on track.
Right. So it is really a long-term relationship a lot of times that you have with your clients. So getting into that, how would one go about deciding on a financial advisor or choosing one, or anything that you can think of that they might want to look out for?
Well, to me, it's all about fit, right? So when I meet with a prospective client, I tell them, look, you don't have to make any decisions. Let's get to know each other. I want to know everything that's important to them, what their goals are. I want to know everything about their family. And I want to really understand their risk tolerance, what they're trying to accomplish. And then I'll say in a week, let me put some recommendations together, talk some more, we'll meet again. And again, neither one of us has to make a decision. And after maybe 2 or 3 meetings, getting to know you and your family, if we think it's a good fit, we'll move forward. And the good news is there's about 40 Edward Jones advisors on the Grand Strand. So based on what their needs are, where they are geographically, I can help them get with the right person. But I talk to everybody, and I'll help anybody. And then if it makes sense, and also credentials I think is important. There are some places that they do one product, or they're only licensed to do 1 or 2 things, where we're very comprehensive.
Okay.
Plus, and I have a lot of advanced designations, and I really believe strongly, as we talked off air, about personal development, and not only to listen to the podcast every day and have Todd Carton get me fired up with his podcast, but I'm constantly every year getting a new designation and just trying to stay abreast of all the issues for my clients.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, I know a lot of people think that you need a lot of money to start on this path, but that's not necessarily the case, right? Can you talk a little bit about that for people who might not feel that they're ready to do that or have the money to
Well,
invest?
it's interesting you asked that, because I just got done having a one-on-one meeting with a 19-year-old from my GBN group. And it doesn't matter if you have $500 or $5 million. The best time to invest, by the way, Tracy, trick question. You know when the best time to invest is? When you have the money.
When you have the money.
Albert Einstein said the most powerful force in the world is the compounding of interest, right? So, especially for that 19-year-old, starting then versus starting at 40.
Great that he's thinking that way.
So, I would say it doesn't matter when the earlier you start, the better. Let's get the budget in place. Let's talk about reducing debt. There's so many competing interests, right? Because you might have somebody who wants to save for retirement, but they have kids in college and they have a parent they're trying to help. They're kind of in that sandwich generation.
Yeah.
Kids, parents. they also need to have their lifestyle, and they don't want to sacrifice too much. So how do you work with all those competing interests? The key is, let's get a plan. Because if you're on the road to nowhere, you're probably going to get there, according to Yogi Berra. So let's make sure we have a plan in place, and let's start working towards it, no matter how old you are or how much money you have.
Right. So talking about a plan, what are some of the other services that Edward Jones offers to help formulate this comprehensive plan?
Well, you know, again, we're going to analyze all that you currently have, and then we have this financial foundation planning, financial planning software. It's like these algorithms. We'll pressure test and stress test your current plan. So a lot of people come to me for a complimentary second opinion. Hey, here's what I have. We'll plug it all in. We'll stress test it. We're making sure they're saving enough, or maybe if they're spending too much, or maybe they could afford to spend more. I have clients that say, when I pass away, I want to bounce my last check to bounce. Other ones want to leave so much to their family and their
goals,
grandchildren.
Different goals.
That's right. So, so your question was, where do you get started, and what?
And what other services that you can offer, a client to kind of be all comprehensive like that, and and you mentioned that it was a complimentary second opinion that you offer.
Sure.
So somebody, they don't have to worry about, do I even have the money to have my consultation? That could be $500.
I spent 2 hours with somebody last week, and what I do for my clients, as a service to my clients, I make myself available as a sounding board for people they care about, and they don't have to become a client. It could be their next door neighbors thinking of refinancing a mortgage and want to crunch the numbers, or their nephew wants to know if he should lease or buy a car, or whatever it is. I'm going to do that as a service to add value to my clients and the community. And I had somebody after 2 hours last week, open their purse and take out a checkbook. What do I owe you? I said, nothing.
Right.
If I can help you, I'm happy to. If I take the information and sleep on it. And
that's great, because I think it will take a little of the fear, away too. Well, I can come in here, talk to you for an hour. It's not going to cost me anything, and see what I want to do and which way I want to go. So that's a great service. Yeah. All right. Well, after the break, we're going to talk a little bit more about how to get started planning for the future. So stay tuned, and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Justice Ann. I've been a canine liaison at Grand Strand Law Group for, 30 years? What's that? You don't believe me? I meant 30 dog years, of course. First rule of lawyering, read the fine print. Anywho, my humans at Grand Strand Law Group have a combined 20 years experience. I know, not as much as me, but that's in people years. So yeah, still pretty impressive. Real estate, estate planning, or probate, you need GSLG.
Grand Strand Law Group. Trust us, we have a dog.
Great Business Networking grew out of the idea that by creating lasting friendships within the community, we can make the community even better.
I was looking to network with professionals and to be able to refer my clients to somebody that I trust.
Well, it's really important to trust the members of the group, because we really generate quality referrals, and to know somebody, be friends with them, and get that qualified referral is the key to success.
It is networking, but it doesn't feel like networking, and that is important to me. I come to the meetings, I have fun, I make great connections, and I help grow my business.
GBN, these are some of the best professionals in the market, and having that resource available to me, that's priceless.
Well, GBN is a network of business professionals that build long-lasting friendships that will not only grow my business, will grow yours as well. That's what referral marketing is all about.
GBN really is the most important marketing for your business. Check us out today.
All right, and welcome back. I'm Tracy Hansen, your host, and with me today is Jamie Croland with Edward Jones. Before we get back on track here, I would like to take a moment and thank our sponsor, Grand Strand Law Group. You can reach them at 843-492-5655. 5422, also at grandstrandlawgroup.com. They have offices in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, and they want to be your trusted choice. Also, if you have any questions or comments today for Jamie, you can put them in the comments section and we will get to that. You may have to go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and then that will grant us permission to show your comments and any questions that you have for Jamie. So, again, thank you for joining us, and we'll get back into it a little bit. I was on your website and I noticed that there's some helpful tools on there, such as avoiding unnecessary taxes, which I thought was quite helpful. So can we talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, great job. I like the research you did. Obviously, again, I'm not a CPA or an accountant, and you should always talk to your personal CPA, but we do advise and work with CPAs on that. So there are so many different strategies. First of all, tax diversification is important, right? Some people have all their money in their 401k or IRA. Guess what? That all comes out 100% taxable at ordinary income. Then you have a non-IRA money, which you could pay long-term capital gains tax, which depends on your income. Could be 0, could be 15% or 20% as of the current tax law. And then you have like Roth IRAs, which can go in after tax but come out tax-free. So I'm a big believer in tax diversification. Year-end planning is also important. You talk about tax avoidance. We talked about putting money in pre-tax, 401k or IRA is a way to do that. But also there's something called tax loss harvesting. So if your mutual funds, for example, are going to kick out some capital gains that you're going to have to pay tax on, you might have something else that has a loss that would offset it. So, I would just say talk to your advisor, talk to your CPA, because there are many, many strategies to reduce taxes and diversify your taxes.
Okay. All right. Good.
Was that too much in the weeds?
Yeah. No. That's perfect, because there
Right.
was there's also articles on planning and a lot of information on the website. So obviously, I think that's a great place for someone to get started. Go to the website and
take
and
the My Priorities quiz. Click that, because that will tell you exactly where you are and where you want to go.
That's great. That's a great tool. We do have a comment. So I have here, what should I do if I win the lottery? This is from Skylar. How can I maximize the money I keep and my financial well-being?
Well, first of all, Skylar, thank you for the question. Just back up that dump truck full of cash.
I would say call me first. We got answers for you, Skylar.
Skylar, I would just say, again, it's a great question, but individual advice is so hard without knowing somebody's personal situation.
Right.
So I would say let's sit down and, I never won the lottery. And my wife, I was complaining. She said, well, you've never bought a ticket.
Got to be in it to win it.
So that's the first.
Can't win if you don't play.
That's right.
So I'm going to start there. That's good advice, Skylar. I'm going to start playing that.
So now when it comes to planning your finances, and I know, and myself, I can speak for it, you think retirement. I need to plan for my retirement, my finances. But it's really not just that, which we did touch on a little bit. A great time, from what I understand, is when you're starting a family as well. So what is it that we should know about that, too?
Yeah, that's a great question. Because there are different phases of your investing lifetime.
Absolutely.
Maybe you're just getting your first job and you want to start putting money away. Then of course you're dating, and then you spend all your money on the restaurants. Right. But now you're married, and now you have a young family. So, obviously, again, we're going back to these competing interests. You want to be able to save for retirement. You want to maybe start saving for education. You want to start thinking about reducing debt. At the same time, you want to save for lifestyle and travel and all that. So one of the things for a young family, I would say, is definitely want to talk about protection. God forbid something happens to me when I had and my wife wasn't working at the time. We had two babies. How's she gonna replace my income, or maybe pay off the debt, and maybe pay for the kids' college and then use the rest of the money with her new boyfriend, I guess. But there's things like that you definitely want to make part of your plan.
So speaking of starting fan. All right, so right now we do a little section of our show called Rapid Fire Questions. So
Is that why the sirens are all going off in here?
that's it, right? So, so I have a few questions here that are very conversational,
All
just
right.
quick
Put me on the spot.
questions.
Let's do it.
No, you're going to be fine, and just helps us to get to know you a little bit better too,
Okay.
outside of financial advising. So tell me what your first job was.
Newspaper route, 8 years old.
Yeah, that's great.
Whether rain, sleet, or snow, right?
Right. Now, would you consider yourself a night owl or an early bird?
That's changed. When
yeah.
I was younger, definitely night owl. Now I'm in bed. I'm embarrassed to say this, unless it's the weekend, by 8:45,
Right.
because I'm up at, ready for this, 4:47 a.m. because I know how long it takes to get to the CrossFit workout at 5:15. So
47.
So I'm pretty routine in trying to. The one thing I learned, if you want longevity, really in any business, is you got to exercise, you got to eat right, you got to not drink much, and you got to get enough sleep.
Yeah.
And I try to take that very seriously.
That's good, because those are all hard things to do.
It is, and it's always a struggle, especially when your boss Todd had me at walk-ons eating mozzarella sticks last night.
So are you a dog or a cat person?
I'm a dog. I married
You
into
have
4
both,
cats,
though, right?
and we had, and then she had a hamster, but definitely a dog person.
Okay, very
but,
good.
But if the cat's a lap cat, it's good.
Right,
But they're too independent. They always, when I walk in the room, I can't find them.
right. Your dog's happy at home.
Oh yeah, more than my wife and kids.
Oh,
Yes.
I hear you. Right? So do you like dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Wow, these are deep questions.
I know. Well, we said we wanted to get to know you better.
I would say my favorite type of chocolate is any kind of chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Good answer. Your favorite word or phrase? Keep it clean.
The more you give, the more you get.
I like it. And your favorite movie?
I'm gonna give you 2.
Okay.
A Few Good Men
Excellent.
and A Time to Kill.
Very good.
As you can tell, they're those good lawyer movies.
Very good. Your favorite song?
Hmm.
I know they're tough, right? The question you think
It is.
they're
I could
easy,
tell
but
you,
have to think.
in high school, the favorite band was Van Halen, but I'm so diverse and eclectic in my taste. I mean, I'm a big Frank Sinatra fan, so I go from rock to jazz to. My wife makes fun of me because she's, "Are you listening to yacht rock?" I'm like, it relaxes me. What can I do? I go from simply Sinatra to 70s classic rock. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's great. It's a little bit of everything.
And you?
My favorite song?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I don't know. That one kind of stumped me a little bit because I switch right now. All right, I'll admit it. Right now, my daughter, who's 14, and I have been into Taylor Swift. So I'm admitting that on live TV here. But it's been great. So honestly, the song that's been playing in my head has been a Taylor Swift song for like
Okay.
the last month.
That was your daughter over the Bieber fever? No more justice?
Yeah, she was never what do they call it, Biebler or something? But she does like her Taylor Swift, so it's not bad. It really is kind of good.
She is
so
good.
I'd say that's where I'm at right now. What is your favorite vacation spot? This one I can answer.
Whew. Well, I will tell you, I've been very fortunate in my, before Edward Jones, I was working for a company that would send me all over the world to speak to financial service companies and their top producers on the economies and the markets, and Africa. There's really nothing like being on a safari or being at a lunch outdoors at a hotel with zebras and giraffes walking by you and their tails are smacking you and monkeys are jumping out of trees stealing your muffin when you're eating.
Right.
I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah, that's fun though. I love that.
That was so many years ago. That was almost 20 years ago. And I would love to go back one day.
Yeah. I feel like that about Alaska. I'd spent some time on a research boat researching humpbacks like more than 20 years ago, and I would love to go back there. That was probably one of my favorite.
Did you ever take the helicopter up to
I
the
did.
glacier and walk around?
No, we were on a boat, and so I really can't say that was a vacation. But yes, I just love places like that. All right, one more now. I might have to help you out. What's your favorite mobile app? And GBN does have one.
GBN is my favorite mobile app. You know what I do is every single morning, I hit the podcast button on my phone, and I'll get onto a certain podcaster that I like, and I'll hit see all, and then I'll look for different topics, and that will be my hour of motivation every single morning.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so that was our rapid fire section.
Did I pass?
You did good.
Oh, good.
You did good. We'll keep going. You can stay.
Thanks.
So before that, we were talking about, financial planning, not only for retirement, but when you start a family. But really, you should really speak with your financial advisor over all your major life happenings. Let's talk about that a little bit. What else would be a good time, to speak to a financial advisor? College, like we said.
Yeah, any life change. You have a baby or a grandbaby. You death, divorce, disability. Right. You move. You sell a house. You buy a house. You sell or buy a business. Mm-hmm. I'm also very involved in the employer retirement plan market. I have many 401k plans that I manage for companies around the town. So, anytime there's a change, I think it's a good time. And, the good thing about how I run my business is I try not to have too many clients where I'm not able to give 100% of myself to every one of my clients. And so not only do we speak at least quarterly, whether in person, Zoom, phone call, we have probably 15 to 18 contacts a year with me and my team with our clients. I do quarterly seminars, educational workshops, types of things. And so with my client base, at least, if there's anything going on, I know them so well, right, and they know me. So usually if there's anything going on, I always like to be the first person, like you said, the quarterback. So anything that happens in life usually has a financial component to it. So
sure, yeah.
Let me know about it. Let me help coach you through it.
Right. You think about marriage, but like you mentioned, divorce too. That's a big financial change too. So definitely any of these major life events, probably
Exactly.
a good time to talk to you. So if you'd like to get in touch with Jamie, and I recommend that you do, his number is 843-626-3659. And then you can also find him at edwardjones.com. And Jamie, before we go, just tell us why referral marketing is so important for your business, and specifically, why did you choose to be a part of GBN?
Well, when you think about people, how they find CPAs, attorneys, financial advisors, they're not going through the yellow pages. Is that even a thing anymore?
I don't
Yellow
know.
pages?
I think I get a phone book at my house like once a year, but
it goes right into
it does.
It's like a booster seat for the babies now. But people, when they're making major decisions, you need a realtor, if you need a builder for a house, a doctor, you're not really going off the phone book or Googling it. You want to know somebody had a really good experience with them. So the way I've built my business are happy clients, tell their family and friends. And the average person, they say, has a sphere of influence of about 52 people. So when you think of your family, your friends, your neighbors, people you go to church with, you golf with, your professionals in your life, GBN has hundreds and hundreds of members of every profession. And we're all touching each other's clients in some way. So if I just knew 100 GBN members, which I probably do by now, that's 5,200 people that can be saying, hey, you need a financial planner, you should talk to Jamie.
Right.
So yeah, it's been great, and there's also the camaraderie, becoming friends with people first before
That's
business.
Right. Business second.
And just all the after hour type things they do. There's a lot of great opportunities, and personally, it's not only so much for me getting referrals for GBN, but for me, I've met so many other people that I'm able to do business with.
Right.
I need a handyman. Yes. I had an HVAC person come over the house, or a roofer, a realtor, a mortgage person. So it's really helped me with and for my clients. So I position myself with my clients as the quarterback, but it's like a concierge service. Mm-hmm. Somebody moves to town, they don't know anybody. Here's your doctor, here's your lawyer, here's your realtor. So I'm able through GBN to really service my clients at a very high level.
Right. It's like that old saying, I got a guy.
Exactly.
All right, Jamie. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
you.
It has been a pleasure speaking to you.
You too.
Guys, stay tuned. Today at 11, we will welcome Lori White, and she's with Remax Southern Shores. So remember, if it's Wednesday, it's GBN Live. Thanks.
Boom.